everyone, and welcome back to Learn to Love DIY. I'm going to show you today how to create these cute topiaries. I made a set for myself and I purchased all of the items, or most of them anyway, at the 99cent store and the Dollartree. You'll need about 5 of these or so, just depending on the spheres you're going to be using. And then I got the bases for this at the Dollartree. They come in sets of 2. And then my husband and I were doing a little bit of work in the backyard, so I went ahead and did cement on these, and I used little dowels that I got from the 99cent store as well. And the spheres that I'm going to be using today, you can get at the dollar store or Walmart, but I happened to get mine at the thrift store, just as a note. So I went ahead and did bits and pieces of this. As I went on, I decided to paint mine in the chalk paint, and this is like a dark gray. I've used this in several of my other videos, although I haven't had a DIY video like this in quite some time. But what I'm going to do is just go ahead and paint the vases and the dowels. They're basically sticking out. Okay, so and as I finish painting, I'll just let you know that I will go ahead and fast forward some of the parts so you don't get bored, and you kind of just, basically I want you to get to the gist of what I did and how I did things. So I went ahead and painted both of these, set them aside, let them dry. I went ahead and peeled all of the cute little, greenery from the mats that it comes in, and then I went ahead and used a little bit of floral moss that I got at the Dollartree, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to keep this straight, and I just hot glued it to the bottom just to give it a little bit of green in the bottom. I didn't want any of that showing, or any of my cement showing, and this was a great way to do that. Alright, so as I finish with this part, I'm going to go ahead and just clean up a little bit. I'll be using a little bit more of that hot glue. And then I'm going to bring in my spheres, and I'm going to do the largest on the bottom and the smallest on the top. However, you may choose to do just the one. I thought 2 would be a good amount. I've seen some with 3, but it's really up to you. So what I ended up doing is, for this particular one that I'm doing on camera, I did not paint the spheres, although when I did my second one off camera, I did go ahead and paint the spheres in a green. I just thought that it would cover most of any of the peaking white, so I would suggest that you do paint it. I did it for my second one as an afterthought, but I would go ahead and do it. And in order to secure my spheres, I went ahead and just dabbed a little bit of hot glue on the top and the bottom of the bottom one, and then just a little bit on the bottom for the second sphere. And as you can see here, I went ahead and showed you bits and pieces of how I went ahead and glued on all of my greenery on there. So as you see here, I did the same for both of my topiaries, with the exception that I painted my second one. So I would suggest that you do that, as I mentioned earlier. And I hope you kind of gotten an idea of how to create your own. And if you do happen to try it, please leave me something in the comments section below. If you have any questions about any of the items that I've used or where I bought them, please put that in the comments, or send me an email, which I'll include in the description box. So here is my finished topiary. This is the one I did on camera. I did add a bow at the end that you'll see here, just like you did at the beginning. So I just used a little bit of jute twine from the Dollartree, and I basically did about six rounds. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great one.